Let me get to some highlights and lowlights of this. If I mistakenly call it a stimulus bill, it's not a stimulus bill. It may be a rescue bill. It may be a Band-Aid. But ladies and gentlemen, the government doesn't stimulate anything. And I'm trying to stop. It's hard using the left's language because it's not a stimulus bill. Here's some more bad stuff from the bill. Hat tip Phil Kerpen and Rachel Bovard on Twitter did a great job. $75 million in the bill for the National Endowment of the Arts? Check this out. Again, in case you think, oh yeah, National Endowment for the Arts, Grants and Administration. 75 million buckarooskies. Isn't that nice? We give $1 million to 75 small businesses, ladies and gentlemen. Or in that Lady Mara Gay's math, we give $1 million to 7.5 trillion businesses in America. Remember that? I can't get over that. We could give $1 million to 75 businesses in America for the cost of one taxpayer handout to the National Endowment for the Arts. Listen, arts are great. I love the arts. My daughter painted an Easter egg yesterday. Amelia, she did a great job. Folks, art's great. I love it. Is this the time for that? What the hell? 75 million? 75 million Americans, about a third, a fourth of our population, is giving $1 to the government to hand over to the National Endowment of the Arts. Do you know what this stimulus is going to cost us? Because again, there's no money fairy. Anybody who tells you that is ignorant. I'm serious. Don't ignore them. This is not a stimulus. It's a rescue package. It's not going to stimulate. It's not going to sew up your wound. It may simply put a Band-Aid on it. The free market economy, if it comes back from this, is what's going to sew the wound up. You know how much it's going to cost you? I teased at the beginning of the show. I never told. Every 18 and older American, because 18 and under mostly don't file taxes. We get that. Take a stab at it, folks. This stimulus package alone, forget about the debt we're in, government spending this year. We're talking about the air quote stimulus package. It's going to cost you $8,000 per person.
Who?
How's the government going to pay for it? They're either going to tax you, inflate away what you have now. There's no other way. That's it. So you're paying $8,000 per person, and a couple bucks of that is going $75 million to the National Endowment for the Arts. Here's another gem. $75 million for the liberals at PBS and NPR who can't stand you. Yes, public broadcast. You see it right there. There's the bill, page 773. Corporation for Public Broadcast. They got to get 75 mil too, Joe. If you're throwing around 75 mil, might as well throw 75 mil to them too. Big Bird. It costs Big Bird. But we need Big Bird. You debate Big Bird and whatever, Bozo the Clown or whatever the hell they do later. This isn't the place for that. This is a Band-Aid bill to keep people from drowning in a sea of poverty. 75 million for Oscar the Grouch. Can we do that later? Or never? NPR, by the way, hat tip Cernovich. The same hacks. You're paying 75 million in what could be the next depression if we don't get out of this fast. You're paying $75 million. Couple bucks for every American over 18. You're paying right now for this kind of junk. This is NPR. Fact check. Trump says 50,000 could die from the flu. This is NPR. You're paying for this by Scott Hensley. Trying to hit Trump. It's so stupid. Trump says 50,000 could die from the flu. Look at this. Again, hat tip Cernovich. Here's the correction at the end of the piece. The initial version of the story said the CDC estimated there have been about 23,000 deaths. In other words, Trump is wrong. 50,000 can't die. This is their correction. That figure is at the lowest end of the CDC's estimated range, which extends to 59,000. Your taxpayer dollars paid for a shameless fact check, air quotes, hit piece against Trump, where Trump was accurate. Let's look at another NPR gem. Nice to know, 75 mil in the bill for this. Mm-hmm. This was NPR on January 29th of this year. the brilliant, and I use that term loosely, Allison Aubrey. Worried about catching the new coronavirus? And the U.S. flu's a bigger threat. I thought when Trump said that, he was crazy. Joe, when Trump said that, he was playing it down. By the way, up to this point in the data, it's not inaccurate. That's not the point. The point is, it's these same taxpayer-funded idiots that were doing this to dunk on Trump because Trump had enacted a travel ban and they wanted to make it look like he was overreacting. These are the same people who are now telling you Trump missed the ball and he underreacted. You get my point? Trump, travel ban from China, NPR. Oh, he's overreacting. This is nothing like the flu. The flu's far worse. Now that we find out this could be pretty rough, but the flu has been worse statistically so far. Now the new narrative, Joe, is Trump definitely underreacted and missed the ball. What, you forgot that article you wrote? This is 75 mil. Yeah. 75 mil in the bill. We're voting for this? Here's another one. This is a real gem. So if you're a medium-sized business in the United States that by no fault of your own is now potentially going out of business because you have a liquidity crisis and you're running out of cash and the government's there to provide you a backstop with a loan with our money, the liberals had to throw in some union stuff in there too. Check this out. What does that have to do with anything? The recipient, in other words, Joe, if you take the loan, you will remain neutral in any union organizing effort for the term of the loan. What the hell does that have to do with anything? I don't have a beef with unions. I've said this from the start. I refuse to be stigmatized by dopes on the left. I have a beef with being forced to join any organization, a union or elsewhere. What does now collective bargaining have to do with this? The answer is nothing. It's a liberal wish list being thrown in there because they think you're not looking. Where are the Republican priorities in here? They're non-existent, by the way. Where are things like school choice measures and extraneous stuff? Nowhere, because Republicans didn't want to lard it up with stuff not related to the bill. If the Dems did, the Republicans should have done it too. They won't. $8,000 for all of you over 18. This is what you're paying for. Union organizing, Big Bird, Oscar the Grouch, the National Endowment for the Arts.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud and follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.